Hey boys, and welcome back to another Bleach Brave Soul video, and today we finally have an updated PVE tier list for this game. The last time I did one of these was 5 months ago, so it's been a while. A lot of new characters have come out. My opinion on rating characters has also changed quite a bit, so you're going to see a big difference compared to what we did or we ranked 5 months ago. And just for reference sake, this was the tier list I made 5 months ago. So having said that, let's move on to the tier list. Now, before we even do get into it, the way I do my kind of tier list is I do basically essentially what this is 5 top 10 videos as a tier list in one video. That's what it is. This then allows me to talk about the top 10 best characters in each attribute, in my opinion. Again, I try to be, non-biased, but my playstyle is a lot different than maybe other people. So maybe you might rank a character different to me, and that's fair. I do want to make this kind of a monthly thing. So if I do have a different opinion to you and you disagree with what I place with a character, just let me know in the comments below and we can maybe fix that for next month. So having said that, let's start the list. We're going to start with power, then we're going to move to technique, then speed, then mind, then heart. Starting off the list now, I don't want to be here forever, so I do want to kind of go through this quickly, right? Because we have 50 characters to talk about. If I spend 1 minute talking about each character, we're going to be here for 50 minutes. So I'm going to try and speed through this, right? So, White Ichigo, what makes him good? SA1 is a beam forward, SA2 is a lunge, SA3 is a 900 radius AoE around him. If he did have a full screen strong attack 3, it would have been better, but honestly, I don't think it would have made a difference in this tier list. Overall, as a character, he is quite good. He is a hollow character, so you can use him in Senkamon, especially on those floors that are literally made for him. So overall, not a bad character to have. Still decent to this day. I like him, and he's number 10. Number 9 is going to Kanfi Mode Neliel. This character, honestly, is not bad. The main thing about this Nell is her skills, because if she didn't have these good skills, she probably wouldn't have even made the list. Her SA1 is this weird strong attack, range collision. I don't really like it, and it definitely does bring her down quite a bit. However, her second strong attack is a beam forward, which honestly it's good, right? But other characters get that as their first strong attack, which is a bit, a bit unfortunate. But it's still a good strength to have, so I can't really downplay that. And then her third is a 975 radius AoE in front of her, a good strong attack. She also does have 40% Berserker and Bruiser and Guard Break. So as a character, she is quite good. However, it's her first strong attack that does bring her down quite a bit. Moving on, we have Grimmjow as our next character. He is honestly quite good. The only bad thing about him, I guess, is the range. But if you are hitting the enemies, you're doing very good damage. So this character right here, he has a lunge first strong attack, very good. Second strong attack is a, I believe, 675 radius area around him. It's essentially like a boost strong attack without the boost, so it could have been better, but it's not a bad strong attack to have if you do get into the middle of the enemies, which honestly could be a bad thing, and that's probably why he isn't like up there with like the top 5 or anything. So SA2 could have been better, but it's still good. And then his third is a full screen strong attack. He can inflict poison. As a character, he's usable. He is a 14 recharge link, so if you don't want to use him, at least he is a decently good link. After that, we have Toshiro. Now, Toshiro had a lot of hype leading up to this character because he is a power Aranka killer. Now, you're going to see in this list, we don't really have any god tier power Aranka killers in this game, unfortunately. Maybe in the future we will, but for now, unfortunately, this Toshiro didn't live up to our expectations. But having said that, he is still a good character. His first is a beam forward, his second is a vacuum vortex. This definitely isn't the best strong attack to have because it is for starters, the first couple hits is a 100 magnification, so that means it's going to do a lot of damage on the first hit. However, when it starts doing like the vortex kind of hits, it's only 20% magnification, and it really doesn't kill a lot of enemies that you might want to kill. So let's just say you hit enemies with a second strong attack. When you do that first hit, it's going to kill those enemies, but if new one's spawning, you might not even kill them, and that definitely brings him down quite a bit. To make up for that, however, he does actually have a good third strong attack, and that is a 975 radius AoE in front of him. Very good strong attack. I do kind of like these more so than full screen strong attacks because it means you don't have to get in the middle of enemies. You can literally just sit back, use his third, and do a lot of damage. He can also weaken, so if you really do want to use him in Guild Quest as a support character, you're more than welcome to do that. I don't think he's the best option, but he's usable. Weakening Guild Quest is very, very important, and that is why he's number 7. Number 6 is going to Kanfi World Shunsui. This character is actually quite good. I think a lot of people give him a lot of slack because of his strong attacks, but honestly, I do quite like him. Now let's talk about him. What makes this character better than Toshiro? Because like he's literally placed above him. Essentially, they're almost the exact same character. However, Shunsui just has some extra stuff that make him a bit better. Their first strong attack is different. Toshiro has the beam, Shunsui has the lunge. SA2 exact same, SA3 exact same. However, Shunsui does have Havoc, so he has even more range on top of what Toshiro has. So instead of having a 975 radius AoE third in front of him, Shunsui has around 1125, I believe. So Shunsui's very good in my opinion. And that's not even talk about his skills, because his skills are definitely what make this character. So as for his skills, he has 20% Berserker, which means he does even more damage on his strong attacks, similar to Toshiro. Toshiro has that too. But Shunsuke has plus 40% damage to lacerated enemies. So if you do lacerate enemies, boom, you're doing extra 40% damage. So I guess that kind of makes up for his kind of weak SA2, because again, that second part of his SA2 isn't going to really kill enemies. It's going to hit a lot of times. So if it does lacerate, boom, you're doing even more damage. So that's actually quite good. Now, one cool thing about this character is when normally a character gets the skill inflict extra damage to lacerated enemies or any other element, they lose devastation. However, Shunsuke didn't lose devastation, so he's actually going to nuke quite well, which I guess makes up for the fact that he doesn't have a usable killer, because that's definitely the quote-unquote bad thing about this character. He has no affiliation killer. If he had a better killer, that would have been significantly better. It is what it is, however. Even without that good killer, I think he can still clear quite quick and safe. He's actually not a bad character, so that's why he's number 6. Number 5 is going to 1000 Year Blood War Renji. Renji is a good character to this day, similar to the next character we're going to talk about, and old characters on this tier list. The only bad thing about their characters is the fact that they don't have these new OP skills that newer characters are getting. As for his strong attacks, they are pretty good. His first is a lunge forward, second is a AoE around him, and his third is a charge strong attack, so it can do 240% magnification if you do charge it up, which means he can even hit harder on his first strong attack than he can on his special. Now, luckily for this Renji, he does have Havoc, which means his third strong attack, fully charged, has 1080 radius, so it's just above full screen, which just means you can clear a lot of enemies with this strong attack. So overall, as a character, he is quite well. The only bad thing literally about him is his skills, but even having said that, he's still, in my opinion, a top 5 power character in the game. Next up, we have 1000 Year Blood War Toshiro. So this is definitely, the next 4 characters are god tier characters in my opinion. So what makes this Toshiro good? The only bad thing against him, to Renji, is his skills. Having said that though, he's still a very good character. His strong attacks are very good. First is a lunge, second is a 800 radius in front of him, I believe. Very good strong attack, and his third is just a full screen. He can also inflict freeze on every attack, and his special does have weakened defense, so if you do freeze the enemy, especially if you're using him in guild quests or if you're using him in co-op, if they are still alive, boom, you're going to do extra damage while they're frozen. So this Toshiro, very, very good. Only thing that could have made him better was just having better skills. But as the time when he came out, this character right here was a god tier character, and even to this day, still very, very good. Moving on to the next character, we have 1000 Year Blood War Nemu. Nemu is a direct competitor, I guess, to Toshiro. You know, it's still a hot debate even to this day if people think Toshiro's better than Nemu or Nemu's better than Toshiro, and I guess it comes down to personal preference, but in my opinion, I do think Nemu's better. She has 3 flash steps, she has Berserker plus 20%, she has Havoc plus 20%, she's just insane. She also can revive on her special. The only bad thing about her, I guess, is that she doesn't inflict any status ailments. Her first is a lunge, very good, second is a beam, very good, and her third is a above full screen SA3. So this character right here is just insane. I also have a max transcended, so I love using this character. She's insane. Definitely a character worth going for when she does come back. Moving on to number 2, we're going to do both number 2 and 1 at the same time. We have Spirit Society Byakuya and Confused Shinji. Now, these two have the exact same strong attacks. Literally, they're almost the exact same character. However, Shinji is just placed a bit higher because of the extra skills that he has to make him better. So SA1 for both of them is a beam forward, very, very good. SA2 is a 960 AoE radius in front of them, which is almost a full screen SA2, which is insane. So these characters right here are just god tier. And then their SA3s are both full screen, above full screen actually, is 1200 radius. Now, what makes these characters different to each other, right? So Byakuya can inflict freeze, and Shinji can inflict confusion. And you would think that Byakuya is better because he can inflict the freeze, which it's true, right? Freeze is better than confusion. However, Shinji has these extra skills to make him a bit better, and that is extra damage to confuse enemies. So if you use this Shinji and you inflict any enemy with confusion, you're going to do 40% extra damage to that enemy, which is insane. On top of the fact that they both have Berserker plus 20%. They're insane characters. And then on top of that, right, Shinji don't end it there. Shinji has an additional skill where he buffs power captain characters strong attacks by 20%. So they basically give him a free 20% Berserker on any power captain in your team or lobby. So as a character in a co-op, he's good because he's buffing your team. And also, to go alongside that, you can use this Shinji to buff your Byakuya, and you can also use this Shinji to buff your Shinsuis, because all 3 of them are power captain characters. So, you know, Shinsui, I guess, can get buffed by this Shinji. So that's why Shinji's number 1 compared to Byakuya, because he can buff the team and do even more damage than Byakuya because of the extra skills he has. So that's basically the top 10 power list for this tier list. Shinji, best power character in the game by far. And yeah, again, if you disagree with anyone in this list, let me know in the comments below, and let's move on to technique. Alright, so starting off the technique list, we have TLA Ichigo. This character literally started the SP meta. Prior to this character coming out, we didn't even have like good accessories for SP characters. In my opinion, Chappie, NAD characters were better than SP characters, but this character changed it all. This character right here has aged very, very well. So let's talk about him, right? His SA1 is a lunge forward, SA2 is a beam, and third is a full screen. So there's nothing really bad about this character outside of the fact that he doesn't inflict any status elements and his skills. And honestly, that's perfectly fine because again, he came out like 3 years ago. You can't really expect him to have OP skills nowadays compared to other characters, but as a character, still definitely usable. Probably top 10 of my favorite characters. He's definitely one of the most influential characters in the game, and also he's going to get his resurrection in a few months time, so that might even make him even better. Number 9 is going to Tag Team Toshiro, and this character right here, because he is a tag team character, he has access to 2 killers. Unfortunately for him, he has 2 usable killers, and that's Aranka and Hollow, so that's what makes him very, very good compared to other characters, and he also has some very good strength tags. His SA1 is a lunge, and SA2 is a beam, and his third is a bit weird. It's definitely the weakest part about his kit. It's a 900 raise AoE around him, I believe, but like it sucks them in. It's not like, you know, it's not like White Ichigo's where it's actually quite good. To be fair, it's still good with this Toshiro, but I feel like it could have been better if it was a full screen or just a traditional 900 AoE radius around him. However, having said that, I don't think even a full screen strike would have made this character even better on the tier list. So number 9 is going to this Tag Team Toshiro. Number 8 is going to Kaien. Kaien is actually quite good. I definitely downplayed him on the last tier list. He is not bad, honestly. His first is a lunge. Second is a shockwave strong attack 2. If you do paralyze the enemies, which I believe he can do, it means your second SA2 can do a lot of damage. However, to other enemies, you know, if they're not paralyzed, you might not even kill them on the SA2, especially if you don't have any transcendence into him. His SA3 is a charge strong attack, which I believe he does have havoc, so it's even above full screen. So this character, you know, I guess the only bad thing about him is his SA2, and that's literally it. He's a very good character, hits very hard, and I actually do kind of like his character. I wish I had him, but unfortunately I don't. Number 7 is going to one of my favorite characters in the game, Tech Rukia. Rukia she is honestly what we needed in a tech holo killer, because prior to this, TLA Ichigo, who came out 3+ years ago, was the best tech holo killer. Every character that came out that was a tech holo killer just had something wrong with them that just didn't make them as good as Ichigo. And this Rukia right here is insane. Her SA1 is a beam forward, her SA2 is a 800 radius AoE in front of her, and it does inflict paralysis. Her other attacks inflict freeze, by the way, and her third is just a quick full screen third strong attack. Very, very good. I like this character, and there's literally nothing wrong with it. I guess the only thing that could have made this character better is if she did have Havoc, and that's literally it. And even then, she don't need it. Like, she's actually top tier. I love using this character. Unfortunately, with the bonus characters nowadays, I don't get a lot of chances to use her, but she is very good, and she can clear any content you put against her, like every character in this list, to be fair. So, yeah. Number 7 is going to Rukia. Number 6 is going to Flyzen. This Flyzen is actually very, very good to this day. SA1 is probably one of the best strong attacks in the game. It's a... Let me actually check. Yeah, his SA1 is a 750 radius lunge. It's actually quite insane. So his SA1 is definitely one of the best things about him. His SA2 is a boost. He also does have Enhancer, so that means he can last 20 seconds, which is good. You can infinitely stack that boost. Very, very good. And his third is a full screen. The thing about his third, it's quite slow, which I would have preferred it to be faster, but yeah, as a character, there's nothing really wrong about him. And actually, for Soul Reaper content, he is better than someone that I placed higher than him, but we'll talk about that when we do get to it. Number 5 is going to TLA Soifon. Now, this one might be a controversial pick. Personally, I don't think she's as good as she used to be because of this Guild Quest revamp. It now means that she doesn't have that exclusivity that she used to have because she had 4 flash steps and long strike. She was by far the best character in Guild Quest. Having said that, though, she is still a good character for manual play. She can still clear content very, very fast. She has 4 flash steps, long stride. SA1 is a lunge. SA2 is also a kind of a weird lunge, but it's still a good strong attack. And SA3 is full screen. So, as a character, yeah, she's good, but personally, I just think the other characters are better. Number 4 is going to Uetsu. Now, I had to ask myself this. At what point is a NAD character better than an SP character? Because obviously, SP characters clear faster and in some cases safer because you don't need to get up and close and personal to attack them. Having said that, you know, the range isn't the best, but he's still ridiculously good, right? And we're talking about PvE content. We're talking about Guild Quest and Epic Raids. Epic Raids, this guy's a monster. Even when he's not a bonus character in Epic Raids, you can still bring him and still potentially out-damage some of the bonus characters because of how much damage he does with his Night String. He has Flurry, obviously, and I believe he has a 40% Bruiser, which makes up for the fact that he does have a Recharge Link, which is also good because his second strong attack is a boost and a Vortex, so you can kind of get that Vortex back a bit quicker. So as a NAD character, probably one of the best melee NAD characters, no, literally the best melee NAD character in the game, in my opinion. Very, very good, especially in Epic Raids and also in Guild Quest as a support character when it is sorry per week. Coming in at number 3, we have Can't Field Stark. And honestly, as a character, he is very good. Probably one of the best kits in the game. SA1 is a beam forward. SA2 is a cone-shaped strong attack. Again, another good strong attack. Very good. SA3 is full screen and very, very fast. This character is just really, really good. Only, I guess, bad thing about him is that he literally came out right before we started getting all these characters with Berserker and Bruiser, right? So obviously he doesn't have Berserker plus 20%, which means that some of these characters, that obviously the 2 characters in front of him, just hit a bit harder, even though they might have worse kits, if that kind of makes sense. So as a character, he is good. In my opinion, one of my favorite characters, but there's just better characters in my opinion. And number 2 is obviously going to Can't Field Hallibell. This Hallibell has a SA1, which is a lunge. It's not the fastest, but it's okay. SA2 is a barrier and a boost, which is actually quite good. SA3 is a full screen strong attack, which also she does have Havoc, so also similar to Stark, he also has Havoc, by the way. This Hallibell also has Havoc, and it's a 1200 rated strong attack. Very, very good, but the main thing about her is that she does have 40% Berserker and Bruiser, so she hits insanely hard, on top of the fact that she's also boosting herself. She is just a very good character. She might click slower than Stark, because Stark has, I guess, more recharge, but I do think Hallibell is a better character and just safe to use in co-op and stuff. She's a support character in epic raids. She can also be a support character in guild quests. She is just a good character, not bad whatsoever. Number 1 is going to Ginzuru. These characters right here are by far the best tech character in my opinion. They are very, very good. So let's talk about them, right? So what makes these characters the best tech character in the game? They have 20% Berserker, which is good, because keep in mind they are an SP character. They have Frenzy, they have Guard Break, they have Long Reach, and Bruiser plus 20%, Devastation plus 40%, Sprinter plus 1, and Debilitate for 2 seconds because they can inflict poison and everything. So skill-wise, they're set. Like, the only thing that could have made their skills a bit better is if they had Havoc, but that's not that much of a problem because they're still good as is. Their SA1 is a lunge forward, SA2 is an 800 radius AoE in front of them, and SA3 is just a standard full screen. Now, if they did have Havoc, they would have been God tier. And even then, they're still God tier, right? So what makes this character better than the others, right? Kit-wise, they're good. Skill-wise, they're set. But they also have 2 killers because obviously they are a tag team character. And their killers are Sorry But and Hollow. That just makes them more usable and more content because they have 2 killers to play around with. Now, Aizen probably clears faster than Ginzuru. But I think as a character, Ginzuru is just easier, safer, and just better in my opinion because you can use them in more content because obviously they have 2 killers. That's basically the main thing about them. And that's what earned them the number 1 slot. And, you know, we didn't even talk about the double team mechanic because it's pretty much pointless. You know, even without the double team mechanic with the Izuru running around or the Gin running around doing almost no damage, they're still very, very good, and that's why they're number 1. So that's basically the top 10 for tech. Now let's move on to speed. Number 10 for speed is going to Kokuto. Now, people probably would expect him to be higher, but yeah, this character right here is honestly good because he's a movie character. Every movie character besides maybe him and literally the Mon Ichigo are bad. So this character right here has a lunge SA1, an SA2 that is an 800 radius area in front of him, so similar to Ginzuru, and his SA3 is not full screen, but it's that 1000 radius into a 675 radius strong attack. It could have been better. It's not, you know, it's kind of like that vacuum SA3 Vortex. It could have been better, and that's definitely the thing that brings him down quite a bit because he doesn't have a, you know, a OP SA3. If he did, he probably would have been a bit higher, but still, to this day, he's actually good. He doesn't really inflict any stats elements. His third can inflict poison, and his Soul Bomb can inflict paralysis. So, you know, that's not bad. He also does have Debilitate plus 5. So when you paralyze with the Soul Bomb, they're going to be stuck there for 7 seconds. Number 9 is going to 1000 Year Blood War Yoruichi. Now, this character would have been higher if it was not for her janky hitboxes, man. She just misses a lot, right? That's the point of it. I remember using her in Guild Quest prior to the revamp, and I just had to keep resetting because she just kept missing, especially when she does transform. Now, what could have made her better, right? If she had a recharge link, boom, she would have been a bit better, and also she just didn't have those janky hitboxes. But outside of that, she is still a very good character. SA1 is a lunge. SA2 is also a lunge, but it has some very good range. I really do like her SA2, one of my favorites in the game, and her SA3 is a full screen strong attack. And when you use her Soul Bomb, she can transform, get all her strong attacks back, do even more damage, but again, the hitboxes when she transformed, it's just a bit iffy. Sometimes you just guard break and don't even do enough damage to even kill the enemies, but you know, if you play with this character a lot, you just got to position yourself. If you know how to play her, you can do actually really good work with this character. So that's why she's number 9. She's a good character, but she just has some janky hitboxes. Number 8 for speed is going to Can't Field Aaroniero. This character, very good. Only bad thing about him, but also, it's weird. His SA2 is definitely the biggest weakness about this character, but also one of the biggest strengths if you use it right. His SA1 is a beam forward. SA2 is that vacuum vortex that sucks them in and then pushes them out, right? So It can be good, it can be bad. I think for normal PvE play, at least for single player, it's not really the best because it doesn't clear as much waves as other characters can clear. However, if you use them against a boss in co-op, if you use them against epic raids, if you even use them in guild quests, you can do a lot of damage with that SA2, especially if you do inflict the weakening, because you can inflict weakening on all of his attacks. His SA3 is a full screen, and that's basically why he's here. His special can also heal, so he's also a good support / damage dealer in co-op. So as a character, not bad. Could have been better, right? Because he didn't get Havoc. The other two in the banner did. But yeah, he's not bad. Very good character. Just better characters out there. Number 7 is going to Baragon. Now, honestly, you'd think Aaroniero better, right? I don't know what it is. SA1 for Aaroniero and this Baragon are both the same. SA2 are both vortexes. However, I do realize, at least in co-op and stuff like that, when I use the SA2, the hitbox, you have to like literally dodge straight away out of Aaroniero SA2 because he doesn't have that invincibility frames that other characters have. So I realized a lot using this character in co-op, I die more so than not. So if I'm going against a power IZ quest that has Sorry But and Aaroniero killer, I normally go with Baragon because he's just safer to play. He's just safer to play because his SA2 is also a vortex, but it's one that doesn't suck him into you, it pushes them away, so it's just safer to play because he is a ranged character. And his third isn't full screen, but he does have the 20% berserker, so he does more damage than Aaroniero, he just has less range. But I found myself dying more so with Aaroniero than Baragon, and Baragon also has the last ditch survival as a skill, so it means if you do die, boom, you can just revive. And also with the recent guild quest that's happening right now, he is also one of the best characters to use for that guild quest. Number 6 is going to Momo. Momo is also a very, not old character. She came out, a year ago? But she's still good to this day. So her first is the lunge, second is an 800 AoE raise in front of her, and third is just a charged strong attack. She doesn't have Havoc, she doesn't have Berserker or Bruiser. I think she might have Bruiser, but she doesn't have Berserker. So she could have been better. But honestly, for the time that she came out, she is quite good and she can clear a lot of content. She, to this day, is still the best speed Ronka killer, but yeah, like there's definitely room for improvement, but she's still good. She can still clear quite fast. She still clears quite safe, and she was also one of the better characters to use for guild quests if you do have some dupes into her. But yeah, overall, a good character. Could have been better, but honestly, not bad. Number 5 is going to Comfy World Kisuke. This character right here is probably one of the most underrated characters because I don't think a lot of people realize how good this character is. I didn't even realize it when he first came out, but honestly, looking back now, he is actually very, very good. So his first is a beam forward, very good. SA2 is a 800 raise AoE in front of him, so similar to the Momo, and his third is also a charged strong attack. So strong attack wise, nothing bad about him. The thing that I guess brings him down is the fact that he has a no affiliation killer. However, to make up for that, he does have 40% Berserker and Bruiser, so this guy can hit harder than characters with killer. He can even clear faster with characters with killer, and he does have devastation plus 60%. So his soul bomb can also do more damage to characters where he's not going to have kill. And also he does have strong attack recharge plus 40%. So this character, man, he's honestly insane. For a character with no affiliation killer, he's actually very good. And if he did have a actual usable killer, he probably would have been top 3, maybe top 4, but yeah, he's very good, and that's why he's number 5. Number 4 is going to Yamamoto. Yamamoto is another solid speed holo killer. Would have been the best had it not been for another character that just came out recently, but honestly, nothing really bad about his character, maybe outside of the fact that he doesn't have Berserker like the newer characters are having. His first is a lunge forward, his SA2 is a cone-shaped strong attack in front of him, very good, and his SA3 is full screen, very fast full screen. His soul bomb spawns a fire vortex around him, so if someone's still alive, you can do extra damage and just burn them. It's a good strong attack. It's also good for just, not dealing with little mini mobs. It's not as OP as I thought it'd be when he first came out, but yeah, he's honestly not bad. Only, I guess, the bad thing about him, outside of the fact that he doesn't have Berserker, is the fact that when you use a strong attack, you're stuck for like half a second. It's very noticeable when you use this character, but you can easily flash step out of it, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, having said that, he is still a top tier speed character. I don't use him a lot as I should be using him, but honestly, very good, and that's why he's number 4. Number 3 is going to Machine Society Aaroniero. This character is basically just a small upgrade to this Yamamoto. So what makes this character better, I guess? So obviously because this Aaroniero is newer, he does have access to the Berserker skills, because obviously nowadays every character is getting Berserker plus 20, right? So he hits harder on his strong attacks, and also I guess he has better strong attacks because he doesn't have the annoying half a second freeze time that this Yamamoto has, but that's not really that big of a deal, to be fair. So yeah, this Aaroniero has a SA1 lunge, SA2 is a beam, and SA3 is a full screen strong attack. So yeah, not bad honestly. Aaroniero is actually very good, top 3 speed character in my opinion, and that's why he's on this spot. Number 2 is going to Bambietta. Bambietta is just another insane character. Only bad thing about her is her SA1. And even then, I guess she kind of makes up for it because of her kit, right? SA2 is a very good SA2. It's a 960 AoE radius in front of her. Again, almost full screen. Her SA3 is also a full screen, 1200 radius. It's just the SA1 that's a bit of a hit or miss, right? It's still good, to be fair. And in my opinion, I don't really mind it because Caleb did something new with her SA1. It's just a different kind of SA. It's a range collision strong attack beam into a melee collision, so it's a bit weird. It's definitely the weakest part of the kit, but I still think it's quite good. And the thing about this character is that she can also inflict burn on everything, which comes in handy because she does have damage to burning enemies plus 20%, which means if you do inflict burn, boom, you're doing even more damage. So this character right here is a very good range Soriba killer, the best range Soriba speed character in the game. She is literally the second best Soriba killer to the character that's in the number 1 spot, to no one's surprise, is Karinji. Tendro is a very, very good character. Literally one of the best characters in the game. He has Havoc plus 20%, Berserker plus 20%, very good strong attacks, and also a unique skill to him and I believe Shinji. I think they're doing 2 characters that have it. He increases speed Soriba killer's strong attack damage by 20% if he's in your party or in your lobby. So again, that also applies to himself, so he just does even more damage, right? To talk about his strong attacks, he has an SA1 lunge, very good. SA2 is a beam, and SA3 is a 1125 or 75 AoE raiders in front of him. So this character is a melee character, but he plays like a range character. Literally, best speed character in the game. Very, very good. And that is the top 10 list for speed. Alright, so to start off the main list, we have Shinji, the TLA version, as number 10. Very good character to this day. I don't really use him a lot as I used to, but honestly, not bad. SA1 is a lunge forward, SA2 is a beam, and SA3 is a full screen shot attack. I believe he does have frenzy, so he even has more range. And only, I guess, bad thing about him is that he lacks Berserker. That's literally it. Very good character to this day. Nothing really wrong about him, to be fair. Next character we have Zydopo. Zydopo is honestly, not a bad character. On the slower side, but very, very good to this day still, especially in floor 18 of Senkamon if you don't have Aaroniero, so there's that for him. His first is a melee collision beam, so that's actually quite good. Second is a vortex, so again, that depends if you really like it or not. It's an okay strong attack, nothing, it could have been worse, it could have been better, but it definitely could have been worse, so I like it. And then it's SA3, originally wasn't a 4-screen strong attack, but because he does have Havoc, it is a 4-screen strong attack. He can revive on his special, just a good character, not the fastest character, but a safe character to use, very good character to use, not a bad character, and that is why he's number 9. Number 8 is going to Carfield Hallibell. This character right here, only bad thing about her is her SA1. Outside of that, she's still very, very good. She doesn't inflict any status moments, but she does have 40% Berserker and Bruiser. She has Guard Break. She has Frenzy. Like, she's a good character. She's a recharge character with Hollow Killer. She has a very good SA2, which is the 800 AoE radius in front of her, similar to the Kisuke that was in the same banner as her, and also a full screen strong attack. So again, only bad thing about her is her SA1. Had she had a good strong attack 1, she probably would have been a bit higher. And that's it for Hallibell. Let's move on to the next one, which is Spirit Society Rangaku. Rangaku is, again, another good character. SA1 is a beam forward, SA2 is a vortex, SA3 is full screen, she has Havoc, so I believe it's further than full screen. Honestly, for a seasonal Rangaku, the first one in over like 4 years, definitely well deserved. She's a good character, she weakens on everything, and I guess the only bad thing about it is that she has a no affiliation killer. But having said that, similar to Kisuke, she can even outperform other characters with killer, so I like it. She's a good character, and that's why she's number 7. Number 6 is going to Machine Society Retsu. Again, similar to Hallibell, this character would have been way better had she had a good SA1. And even then, to be fair, there's way more competition in mind compared to Power, because she almost has the exact same kit as Spirit Society Byakuya. SA2 is that 960 AoE radius in front of them. SA3 is a 1200 radius above full screen strong attack, so she's very good. It's just that first strong attack, she got that. It's bad. It's a bad strong attack, but I guess she does have Guard Break. She has Havoc, so it's a bit better. But honestly, if she had a beam, she potentially could have been number 2. Honestly, she is not bad. It's just that first strong attack that brings her down quite a bit compared to the other characters. Number 5 is going to Zombie Toshiro. He is not bad, honestly. He has Poise, which is for a SP character is kind of rare, but I guess it kind of makes sense because he's a zombie. Honestly, he's not bad. SA1 is a lunge, SA2 is also a lunge, and SA3 is a 975 radius in front of him. Not really much to talk about. He's just a good character. Honestly, maybe I should rank him lower than Retsu. Maybe we can talk about it in the comments below. I'm just going to rank him here. He's just a good character. Nothing too amazingly special, but he doesn't really have any bad strong attacks. I like him. He's a good character. Alright, so for the next 4 characters, these ones are like, these were hard to rate. Like, it really depends on your personal preference. It can go either way. You can say number 2 is better. You can say number 3 is better. It really depends. So number 4 is going to Koga. Koga, one of the best premium characters in the game, honestly. He's insane. So his first is a beam forward that has insane range because he does have Havoc, so it's very, very good. His SA2 is that like 960 AoE raised in front of him, I believe. Again, another very good strong attack. And his SA3 is that 1125, 50, 175. I'm not sure the exact number. AoE in front of him, very, very, very good. Literally only, I guess, bad thing about him is that he doesn't have Berserker. That's literally it. So outside of that, very good character. I like him. I think many people do like him. I mean, it's Koga. I don't think much people like Koga, but many people do like this character. So he earned the number 4 slot. And again, you could argue for him to be number 3 or number 2. I guess it just comes down to personal preference. Number 3 is going to Ikone. Now, this character right here is definitely the probably you could argue for number 1. You can argue for number 2 as well. That's fair. You can also argue for number 4, right? It really depends on how you like this character. Honestly, there's really nothing wrong about this character. I guess the only bad thing about him is that he doesn't have Berserker. That's literally it. And that's because he came out before all these characters started getting Berserker as a, common skill. So this character right here has long stride, so he can flash step very, very long. And also he has 3 flash steps, so he can flash step. He can literally flash step around the map, similar to Soifon. Just a bit slower because he does have only 3 compared to 4. But outside that, he weakens on everything. His SA1 is a lunge, SA2 is a beam, SA3 is a forward screen. So there's literally nothing wrong with this character. This character is a top tier character and definitely worth going for. And again, you can argue for number 2, you can argue for number 3. It really depends on your personal preferences. Number 2 is going to Fierce Battle Ichigo. This character right here is, again, another very good character. And he's a premium character, right? I guess a fake premium, as people like to say. This character right here, actually, again, you can really argue for him to be worse than Ikone. It really depends on your personal preference. They're very, very close on who's better. I think this Ichigo is just a tad bit better. His first is a lunge, second is a beam, third is a 975 rates AoE in front of him. Very good strong attacks. When you transform, you get your strong attacks back. Your strong attacks do even more damage, and then when that wears off, you get your strong attack back again. So this makes this Ichigo one of the better Guild Quest characters, similar to Hikone. Hikone does have weakens, so he's also another very good Guild Quest character. So overall, it really depends on who you think is better. Personally, I think this Ichigo is just a tad bit better, but it can go either way. Honestly, it really can. And last but not least, for mind, we have Candice. Candice is a very, very good character. Literally, in my opinion, one of the best characters in the game. Best main character for sure. I guess it comes down to personal preference, but yeah. She can paralyze on everything. She has a lunge on her SA1. She has a 960 AoE race on her SA2. SA3 is full screen, above full screen actually, because she does have Havoc. So overall, man, she's just a very good character. She doesn't really have anything unique about her. It's just her kit. She's just good. She has 3 flash steps. She's just a good character, and that made her the number 1 main character in my opinion. Now, that being said, let's move on to the heart characters. Alright, so now let's start the top 10 for heart, and number 10 is going to Soifon. So honestly, I really didn't know what to place her. I wanted to include her on the top 10 list because she is a good flurry character. She has a boost. Her boost transforms her, so she does even more damage. She's a good character. She has 4 flash steps. Only bad thing about her is that I guess bad thing about her is that she doesn't have guard break compared to the other flurry characters. Now, personally for me, when I am using a flurry character, I don't like using characters without guard break. It's a hassle to use them, and that's why you didn't see Kiryu in the top 10 for mind. But luckily for this Soifon, because she isn't a Ranka killer, if you're going against Ranka enemies, she doesn't have to worry about guard break because Ranka enemies have range guard breaks, so you don't really have to worry about that. But if you do use her in IZ, where there's 2 types of enemies or just other content, and maybe you just want to bring her to something else, you have the guard break. Lucky, I guess she does have the vortex, so I guess it helps. But yeah, honestly, I didn't know what to place, so I just placed in the top 10, and she just got the 10th spot. Again, maybe you can change my opinion in the comments below. Maybe she should be higher, and we can correct that in the next tier list. Number 9 is going to 1000 Year Blood War, Ichigo, round 4. So Ichigo is, again, slowly becoming a bit dated, but kit-wise, very good. SA1 is a lunge, SA2 is a vortex, SA2 is a beam that transforms him, that increases magnification, but he does even more damage. His SA3 is full screen, so yeah, again, he doesn't have Berserker, he doesn't have Havoc. He's just a good SP character, nothing too special nowadays, but honestly, still worthy in top 10 in my opinion. Number 8 is going to Mayuri. Mayuri is another good character, similar to Ichigo. They're both heart Soroba killers, so that's kind of cool, right? And you're going to see a lot of Soroba killers in this top 10 heart list, Jesus. So, Mayuri is a decent character. So, Mayuri has a lunge SA1. It's a bit weird because it does AoE around him first, then lunges forward. But yeah, it's still a good strong attack nonetheless. SA2 is a beam. Wish it had more range or width, but it's still fine nonetheless. It goes quite far. And SA3 is a 900 raised strong attack. So Overall, could have been better. Still usable, still very good. I like it. He can paralyze for 7 seconds and he's immune to everything. So I guess he has that going for him. So he earned the number 8 spot. Number 7 is going to Tag Team Renji. Now, this character I personally don't like, and I hated using him when I did use him, but I can't deny he is still a good character. The only thing that I guess about this character is that he lacks a bit of range. His SA1 is like a slash in front of him. Same goes for his SA2. You have to really get up close and personal with this character to do damage, which I guess a problem because when I was using him, I was dying quite a bit. And I didn't even want to put him in the top 10, but I can't deny he does have 2 good killers, Hollow and Aranka. Does have a charged strong attack 3, which hits very, very hard, and I believe it is above full screen. So, honestly, yeah, he's not a bad character. I personally just don't like his character, so I put him in number 7. Maybe I should put him higher. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Number 6 is going to Comfy World Grimmjow. This Grimmjow is a very, very good flurry character. He has 20 DR, hidden enemy skill, so if those enemies are hiding or, underground, you can just go there and tap them and they're dead. He has 30% bruiser, I believe. It might be 40. I should probably check this, but it don't really matter too much because he still hits very, very hard. He has flurry. He's just a good NAD character. I really do like this character. He's even usable in PvP. This ain't a PvP tier list, but he's still usable. He's also one of the go-to characters for guild quests, similar to, I don't think I mentioned it for Soifun, but Soifun is also one of the best Aranka characters, support characters for guild quests, so she has that going for her. Same goes for this Grimmjow. Unfortunately, he doesn't inflict any status ailments or have a boost for himself, so he isn't the best support for a flurry character in guild quest, but he still does the job. If you bring him in single player IZ or any kind of quest in Inheritance Zone, in Droplet Zone, in Epic Raids, in Senkamon, he's pretty much going to clear the quest with a very, very good clear time for a NAD character, so I like him. Only thing that could have made him better is if he had more range in his NAD string. After that, we have Mugetsu. Mugetsu is another good character. He doesn't have Berserker. He doesn't have Havoc. I guess that's the only bad thing about him compared to the other characters, but nonetheless, he is still a good character. He weakens on everything. Every time he goes to a new room, he heals. His first is a lunge. Second is that cone-shaped strong attack. That's a very good strong attack, and he has a full screen third. It's a bit on the slower side, but again, very, very good character. Nothing really wrong with him. He is a hollow killer. He also has a no affiliation killer, so he's got 2 killers. Not 2 very, very OP killers like the tag team characters on the list, but still, he is actually usable. If there ever are no affiliation enemies in a guild quest, sometimes you can actually use him, and he has double killers, so very good character. Definitely falling off, but still a very good character. Number 4 is going to Senjumura, a very, very good character and one of my favorites in the game, honestly. I'm trying to make her my top played right now. She is very, very fun to use. Her first is a beam forward. Her second is a shield, which just makes her, I guess, a good support in epic raids and in co-op. And her third is a full screen strong attack, which she does have Havoc Sword even above full screen, so she has even more range on her strong attack. She's a very, very good character. And that's not even to mention the 2 skills that make her very, very unique. Her first skill, she increases the chance to lacerate enemies if they are a mind Aranka enemy. So very, very good, because that's important, because the next skill is the fact that she does 40% more damage to lacerated enemies. So those 2 skills combine very, very well, and if you bring into a quest that has mind Aranka enemies, you are absolutely dominating them. You clear so quick, you clear very, very easy. They're literally dying in one strong deck, and I really, really do like this character. Now, do keep in mind, however, the increased chance to inflict laceration to enemies is only to mind Aranka characters. So if you're going against, tech Arankas, or if you're going against Soribas, you don't get that increased chance to inflict laceration. However, the 40% damage to lacerated enemies is to everyone. It's not specific to a certain type or enemies. So she's got that going. She's actually a very good character, especially when you are going against mind Aranka enemies. Number 3 is going to Desert Society Rukia. Now, outside of the fact that she does have the Linkshot skill, this had no impact on her placing in the tier list, but as a character, she's actually very, very good. Her first is a lunge, very good lunge, by the way. Her second is an 800 raise AoE in front of her, another good strong attack, probably the second best strong attack you can get in the game. Even better if she did have Havoc, but she unfortunately doesn't. And her third is a charged strong attack. So that's, I guess, the weakest part about her kit, but having said that, she is still a very good character. She weakens on everything. She has free flash step. She has Berserker. She is a very good character, and I wish I did have her. Unfortunately, I don't. But yeah, she's a very good character and a must-have for IZ farming, so that's why she is number 3. Number 2 is going to Kenpachi. This character is an absolute beast, so let's talk about it, right? So this character right here, the thing about him is that one thing you'll notice in this tier list, like almost every character here, outside of a few characters that are on the low end of the tier list, is that they all have recharge built into them, because it means you can get your strong attack back faster. Kenpachi doesn't have that. He doesn't even need it though. He has 40% Berserker, 40% Bruiser, 60% Devastation, on top of the fact that he does actually have a usable killer, which is Soripa. His soul trait is strong attack damage plus 25%. He has Poise. He has Sprinter plus 1, which is important to note because he is a Kenpachi. And he can also hit hidden enemies, 100% chance. Very good character. He hits so hard, even even not being transcended, and also his special takes off his eye patch, it transforms him. He hits even harder when he transforms, so he's just a very good character. His first is a lunge, second is a beam, and third is a full screen strong attack. This guy is just an absolute beast. Even though he doesn't have any recharge, it really doesn't matter because that soul bomb does transform and it helps him clear faster than some of these other characters. And also, because he is a transforming character, he's also one of the better characters to use for guild quests. So very, very good character. Now let's talk about the final character, who in my opinion is the best character in the game, and that is Tokinada. Well, firstly, he is a flurry character similar to Grimmjow and also Uetsu. However, because he's a ranged character, he doesn't have the problem that they do where they have to get up close and personal to do their damage. So because of that, it means he's just safe to play. You can just sit back and just use your normal attack button and just literally one-shot everything in your path. He has a 45% normal attack damage increase with his skills and soul trait, which is very, very good. He can transform on his soul bomb, which further increases his normal attack damage. Very, very good. And it also resets his strong attack, so he can also do the boost again. So very, very good. One of the best supports to use in epic raid, even when he's not a bonus character. When he is, you're clearing in like 20 seconds. And he's also one of the best supports to use in guild quests. So overall, best character in the game. Very, very good. And that is this tier list. Alright, so that was the tier list video. Now, I feel like my voice is going. I've been recording for like 2 hours now. Okay, so going forward into the next couple of months, whenever we do the tier list at the start every month, which I'm planning to do, I'm not going to make it as long as this one. I'll just do a quick breakdown of what the characters need to do. I think I went a bit too in-depth for this one. But yeah, if you made it to the end or you skipped to the end, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you watched the whole thing, shout out to you. Again, if you disagree with any of these placements, let me know in the comments below, and then we can make the tier list better for next month. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you lads in the next one. Peace.